I've always been intrigued by the imagery and practices of the various religions practiced around the world. Some are solemn in nature, others quite festive. The Philippines, a majority Catholic nation, has no shortage of religious practices that permeate daily life throughout the country. With these practices, certain myths begin to develop. Today, we are going to investigate one of these myths in search of clarity and perhaps even an answered prayer. Alright guys, Happy New Year sa inyong lahat. I am here with special guest Karla.
Hi guys!
Otherwise known as Serena Reina from Lambana, which you guys saw the video about that. If you haven't checked it out, please do. But today we have a very special video for you, and Karla's going to tell you a little bit more about what we're doing today.
Hey guys, I'm Karla. I play a Serena in a play about Philippine folklore where we talk about a lot of the superstitions Filipinos have. It's superstitions about folklore and these magical creatures that we find in Philippine woods. And I find it interesting that Filipino superstition not just ends in nature or in history. It's gone all the way to religion. Even though the Spanish brought it here completely from a different country, we were able to make it our own. In this church, we have a very strange tradition of offering something for good weather or passing a board exam, and that is offering eggs.
Or for love life, diba?
For love life, as I very sadly know, you'll find out more about that story later.
Walang forever.
Anyway, Filipinos ask for different things. Maybe 20 years ago, they would have asked for a new VHS player, but now they're asking for a new iPhone, or they're asking for new YouTube subscribers. So everything changes with regards to what they want, but something never seems to change, and that's how Filipinos ask for what they want. The Philippines is a very, very religious country, and although not as many people are going to church every day and dressing head to toe in Clara wear right now, some traditions still prevail, such as offering eggs when you don't want it to rain during your wedding day, or if you want your boyfriend to love you back. There's an egg here for pretty much everything under the sun, and I think it would be exciting, gotta credit you for that one, to check out why Filipinos still do this after all this time. What made this tradition stick almost 300 years later? And if these eggs are truly what they claim to be, because I have heard rumors about a conspiracy, and we'll delve into that later. But first, we're gonna buy some eggs because that's the start of everything.
Alright guys, so we're here in front of the church now, and we're gonna go through the process of getting the eggs and see what that is like, and see if we can get some insight onto the truth of this myth.
Eggs, which one would you get?
Well, blue is my favorite color.
Yeah?
So, board exam and studies.
Yeah, I think that's the best seller. And then, ano yung pinakamabenta dito?
Yellow.
Yung yellow. Para saan po yun? Para sa lahat ng bagay. Gano'ng katagal ka nang nagbibenta dito ate?
Bago ko mo, hindi ko makaliwatan dahil.
Oh, talaga? Ay, anong reach niyo po nang nandito ka?
Okay, basta may pag-inaniwala ka.
Oh, sige, maniniwala ako. Anong age ko?
Bawa hinihingi ko sa kanya. Bibigyan.
Tapos araw-araw po may mabenta po kayo. Araw-araw talaga ang daming hinihingi ng mga tao.
Oh, lalo na sa mga board exam.
Nag-thank you ba sila sa'yo kapag
Bumabalik sila pa.
Ha?
Bumabalik ko lang.
Nagtithank you sila. Meron ba pong hindi nagkatotoo?
Bumabalik sa akin.
Ate, kumusta na? Vlog ko mo siya.
Hi, musta po kayo? Nice to meet you po.
Kaya eh.
Kwento niyo naman po kung kung bakit bumibili yung mga tao ng itlog dito.
Kasi nasanayan lang talaga.
Nasanayan.
Nasanayan.
Yung mga devoto kay Santa Clara.
Kahit naman alay. So dito kasi, nasanayan talaga ito.
Ilang taon na kayo nagbibenta ng itlog dito?
Tagal-tagal na po kaya.
Ilang
10
taon?
years.
10 years. Hindi naman po since bata kayo.
Okay naman. Basta lang. Naniwala ka na kanya.
Okay.
Ay, bibigay.
Okay. Kung maniwala ka, magkakatotoo siya. That's the secret of the end. Bibili po ako ng green para sa pera.
Pera na lang.
Magkano po to?
Kwenta.
50. Saan niyo po nakukuha?
So we're getting the pink eggs for Karla kasi walang jowa siya. Kawawa naman. Joke lang. But yes, the pink ones are for luck and love. So, sana all.
Thank you po.
Thank you din po. Anong pangalan nito?
Sampagita po. Sampagita.
Sampagita. Sampagita yan.
Guys, there's this special letter that was given to St. Clair along with bouquets of flowers and of course her traditional sampagita. Everybody meets St. Clair of Assisi, the patroness of this church. The Monasterio de Santa Clara is the oldest monastery in all of Asia, and all the monasteries that you're going to find in this country and beyond followed this tradition. It started all the way back in 1621. I was just telling Mike that I used to be a teacher, and in Lambana, where I play a sirena, there's a lot of Philippine history involved, which Mike got to experience because I was in his route. So just a little history lesson. There was an old Spanish nun who decided she loved St. Clair so much that she wanted to put up her own St. Clair monastery. And she got 20 Spanish maidens to renounce all worldly pleasures, to live a life wearing brown habits for the rest of their lives, secluded from the world, in this lovely monastery where they pray all day. Now, not everyone was happy about that decision because when the monastery was being built, there were 20 very disappointed bachelors who signed a petition begging the sister not to let their girlfriends hide away for the rest of their lives. But the power of the Lord is stronger, and so the monastery prevailed. Hallelujah! The sun is out!
And that's also the beginning of how LDR started, diba?
No, that's not really true because once you enter the monastery, you're not allowed to know anything about the outside world. Some Catholics back in the Spanish time called it a living death to enter this monastery because once young girls entered, they were never heard of ever again. When they make their vows, they must promise never to think about anyone or anything outside because they're offering their lives to the Lord, praying, taking in eggs, and singing. I want to be a nun when I retire. It'll be really fun.
Alright, so we have the eggs, and what is the next step?
The next step is to offer them with a prayer petition. So, of course, we don't just offer eggs for nothing. We offer it because it's something that we promise to get what we desire. And there are nuns here who pray every single day, and we write a letter to them telling them the reason why we gave these eggs. And once they find it with the eggs, they take in the eggs somewhere, I don't know, and they pray for your intention to happen.
Okay, so I just asked Karla if she wanted to share what she wrote for on the wish, and like a good sport, she has agreed to share her wish. So what are we wishing for, Karla?
Not love anymore. I used to get pink eggs here all the time until 2015 when I realized they weren't working. And I started wondering, what is in these eggs? If I've been buying them and offering them and praying with all my heart and they're still not granting my wish. So that was 5 years ago. Now I have green eggs because these are for money. And this is my intention. I pray for abundance for everyone, and I want to feel like I deserve money. If I don't deserve love, at least I deserve money. Another revolving door ko. Tapos sa likod ko yung mga bagay. Tapos kinukuha ko nila. Saan ko nila ginagamit? May partner orphanage po kayo. Sila po, egg ba ang ulam nila araw-araw? Minsan ginagamit nila para sa meals nila. So, hindi na po ginagamit pang gawa ng mga dingding katulad ng dati. Alright. So dito po may boxes ko po nila. Tapos mapupunta to sa isang sister. Tapos pero hindi ko sila pwede makikita, Kayo po ate, nakita na sila? Nice. Where the nuns are, where they take in eggs every single day, where they took in my eggs and prayed for my intentions. So, okay, that's very convincing. I think it's pretty obvious that they go somewhere, these eggs. And Ate has told me that a lot of the eggs go to the orphanage. So we have a lot of very strong, very healthy kids because eggs and protein are good for you kids. And apparently the nuns also use a lot of eggs in their cooking. I can just imagine how much fun they'd have thinking of more stuff to do with eggs, like leche flan, llanera. What else is made of eggs?
Yeah, those kids are eating better than me.
Really now. Yeah, I bet it's a lot healthier. And in my research, the egg started off as maybe this urban legend or that urban legend or that urban legend. It was so long ago that you can't really trace where it came from. But Santa Clara is a patron saint where they offer eggs to because Clara means clear. And egg whites are clear, and that's why they offer raw eggs to her. Because according to one of the head sisters here, as long as you have clear intentions, a clear conscience, and the desire for clear weather, you're gonna get it if you offer that clear egg to Santa Clara. And Clara is the Spanish word for a moment of beautiful weather within the storm. So Catholic devotees, they sort of see Saint Clare the same way, in the midst of all of these storms around, she's the one clear thing that they can depend on. And most of the people who come here are just about to celebrate their wedding and they offer eggs, so there will be clear skies during their wedding day. Another urban legend is that somebody wanted to offer something to the monastery and they didn't know what to offer, so they asked the monks, what do you want? And then they said, we want eggs. I guess because eggs are very, very nutritious, very cheap to get, very healthy. Yes.
So guys, we were just talking with a couple here trying to see if they wanted to be in the vlog, and unfortunately they had to leave. But they had this beautiful newborn baby with them, and Karla was just telling me that when she was talking to them, I didn't understand everything, it was in Tagalog. But that they had prayed here for the baby and their wish came true, diba?
Yeah, I saw that beautiful baby, the baby that came from an egg.
There you go, the baby literally came from an egg.
Ate Che with her beautiful bounty of red eggs, as beautiful as her. Ate Che, para some clean red eggs.
For pag mag-offer ka ng egg, pag may something ka na wish mo, gusto mo ipag-pray. For red is for travel.
Travel! Saan po gusto pumunta?
By summer sa Cebu.
Cebu!
Kasi yung family namin sa side ng father.
Mahirap ba makarating sa Cebu for you?
Minsan po,
Okay. So you're just offering for good luck.
for good luck and safe travel. Kasi kasama ko yung buong family and syempre may kids.
Yeah, so it's very
Safety.
important to you. Nag-offer ka na ba ng eggs dati?
Opo, lagi
Nice, lagi.
every month, pupunta ako parang Thanksgiving na rin. Hindi lang for wishes, pero pag may gusto kang ipagpasalamat sa taas.
That's wonderful. Long time advocate na po tayo
Opo.
sa Saint nagkakatotoo parati yung gusto, yung wish ninyo.
Yung mga wish ko naman, opo, matagal yung iba,
Lucky.
kahit matagal dumating, yun, nabibigay
pa
ni
rin.
Lord.
Okay, ako hindi lucky kasi ilang taon ko nang bumibili ng mga pink eggs. Wala pa rin akong boyfriend. Paano niyo po nalaman yung tradition of offering eggs to saints? So yun po yung discover niyo?
Sa mother ko po.
Yung mother mo, nag-offer din ng eggs dito, kaya
Opo.
pinasa niya sa'yo.
Tapos yung tita po namin na nasa Cebu, mga family din nun.
The whole
Sila yung-
family,
opo,
so
pag
it's a
may-
family tradition.
Pag if ever, kunyari, may nasa hospital, or pag may gustong like mga exam,
Nice.
work, laging dito.
Yung mga friends din po ninyo, naniniwala? Okay,
Like-
so it's buhay na buhay po yung tradition. Wala nagsasabi na, eggs lang yan.
Ay, wala po like for
Wala,
example,
everyone in the Philippines believes in this.
And for example, yung sa mga college, pag board, bar exam, yun, talagang laging maraming tao po.
That's so wonderful. I hope your travel dreams come true. Cebu
Thank
is so
you.
beautiful. Good luck.
Yeah, amping sa imong biyahe sa Cebu.
Salamat.
Alright.
This is as far as we can go in Santa Clara because behind this great wall are the sisters. And the sisters, they still wear those brown habits, the one that you see in the medieval pictures. And their gowns are just an inch above their ankles. They're the most traditional group in all of the Philippines, possibly all of Asia. And they've been here since 1950, ever since World War II forced them to move out of their original place in Intramuros. Those nuns got an awakening of a lifetime, literally, when they experienced bombs just falling on their convent while they were praying. And it took them 5 years after 1945 when it got bombed, but finally they got here in beautiful, quiet Katipunan. And I've been to Mass here before, and while the Mass would go on, I'd hear this beautiful music from in here, and it's the nuns singing. Better than a sirenas. So that's probably the only indicator that you'll ever see in the outside world that these nuns exist. It's a really interesting tradition because if you enter this place as a nun, you have to be dressed in a wedding gown because you're about to marry Jesus, and you're with your whole family, and your whole family is crying because they're never going to see you again. And the Mother Superior is going to ask you over and over again, do you really want to be here? Because this is a place full of penance and mortification. And they keep saying yes, yes, yes. Then after they get in here, like Mike said, they only get to see their family like 3 times in a year. And they can decide after 1 year whether convent life is for them. If that, they can go. But if they decide to stay, then they stay forever. Just like their patron, Saint Clare. Saint Clare was a noblewoman, one of the richest people in Italy, and she just decided to give away all of that money to the poor and live serving God. And these nuns have a very high standard to live up to. Another theory why it was eggs that they serve is because Saint Clare was a very close follower of Saint Francis, and back then it was the male missionaries that begged for food. So they would beg for food, and most of the time they would get an egg because it was cheap but nutritious. And it was St. Clare's job to basket all of those eggs, bring them to the poor, cook them, share them with the nuns. So they're just following that tradition of giving simple food that can be used well. Another interesting thing is that these walls are probably made from egg whites because that used to be an ingredient in making the cement. And maybe that's why so many monks asked for eggs, because it's excitingly useful, except for my love life.
So we're trying to find a few more people to talk to about what they're wishing for and about the eggs and their thoughts about it. But so far we're striking out. So I'm hoping we can find a couple more people that'll be willing to chat with us.
Here's a dog. We are here beside where people offer where they're writing down the prayers, and we met this very interesting, very beautiful lady, Miss. Ano po pangalan niya? Miss Rose. Miss Rose decided not to give eggs. That's something I've never heard of before, but instead she gave toiletries to the nuns. So eggs are not the only things that you can give the nuns. You can pretty much give anything. Yeah, because I imagine that many eggs would give the nuns cholesterol. You wouldn't want that. So we are here with Celine and Faye. What are you guys praying for? If you may ask, even just general.
I'm praying for mostly Thanksgiving because I just recently passed the board exams.
Congratulations!
Wow, maligayang bati.
Did you offer blue eggs here before? You passed your board exams?
Only really toiletries.
Oh, that's wonderful. Maybe toiletries have an extra things. How about you?
I'm praying to pass my college entrance exams.
How do you guys start the tradition of writing petitions for San Clara?
I started it when I was still in college. So every time that I have a challenging event in my life, so it started when taking my finals or when I took the board exams also for the CPA board. We went here together with my classmates. And then at the time that before getting married, or before meeting my husband, I was praying for that. And then when I got married, I got pregnant a year after the other. So my first was a son. So for my second, I was praying for a girl.
Yes.
So I was telling Saint Clare and the poor Clares that if it will be granted that I will have a daughter, I will name her after Saint Clare.
Ah,
So
wow.
actually, their ate, she's not with us now. She's named Jean Clare. Clare without an I for Saint Clare.
Yes.
And every time, all my petitions so far have been answered.
Oh, wow.
So we never failed to come here. So I passed on the tradition to
Oh, that's
so every
great.
time that any event will be having a life-changing event or something that we really need to pray for.
So you just asked for one daughter, but St. Clare gave you many daughters.
Wow.
That's
And then about the
beautiful.
toiletries, I learned it from my mom because my mom said everyone is giving eggs. So why not give something that the nuns need? Because for a while, she not really here in this. She initially wanted to be a novice. So she said that the nuns need those things, toiletries. So she said, why not offer those?
You got them inside your phone, you got them
So
something.
it may be a good suggestion also for them, for others to bring like what the nuns will be needing for feminine hygiene or even oral hygiene.
Yes, we got one of St. Clare's favorites right here, guys. Miss Rose, thank you so much.
Okay.
So we learned that most of the people who offer things here get it from their family because their mother and their aunt and their grandmother have had a long tradition of offering eggs and getting their petitions granted, or like getting difficult things off their backs. And I guess that's enough for you to believe if everyone's been doing it. Like everything's inherited from parents, good and bad, and this is one good thing, and that's why it stays alive. It's good that it stays alive because most people don't know about this anymore, right? Like if you ask your classmates, they're like, why am I giving an egg to a saint? Yeah, like do you know of any other people like your age who still offer eggs?
Alright guys, so Karla and I are here in this beautiful food park, Malapit sa Church, and we learned a lot and talked to some wonderful people there who were so nice to share their experiences. But the constant theme you've heard through here is that poor Karla has had such a difficult time in love, and I think that shows that sometimes wishes just don't come true. So we have some pink eggs here, and she's gonna release some of her frustration and let you all know how she feels about the topic.
I have spent a fortune buying these eggs in the past 5 years, and I've always wondered what they were made of because they haven't done much for me. And I heard this conspiracy theory that the eggs that they sell are actually rotten because the nuns just give the eggs back to the vendors and they share the money so they won't have to keep buying eggs. This was told by one of my college friends who lived around the area as well, and I just had to find out for myself, like, is that true? Like, is there really is it all good intentions, or are there some bad eggs? Well, we'll find out, like, whether it was a scam, that's why they had no power, these eggs, or whether it's just me. So we're gonna find out right now. Do I smash it with your tripod?
Yeah, sige na.
I'm gonna smash with my tripod with the anger of 5 years of unrequited love. Oh! A tear just left my eye because this is a good egg, and I guess love just isn't for me, guys. The end.
So Karla is a good egg, so she's been a really good sport about this. So that's just a fun way to wrap up this video. It's been very educational. We learned a lot. We got to talk to some awesome people. I'm so thankful for Karla.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be part of Mike's YouTube.
So she told me all kinds of great history about this place. So we'll try to make more videos sharing some education about Manila and the Philippines and some of the interesting things you may not know. So thank you guys for tuning in. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat, and we'll see you all later.
Bye.